I'm Abheek Pandoh. I'm the CEO of Knowt. I've been working on Knowt since I was a senior in high school in 2016. I've been working on the company as a developer at first, haven't touched much development stuff since then. Work on mostly managing the business side, handling the UI and how the product works, and then dabbling in a bunch of different areas. When we first started the platform in 2016, we had 0 users. Up until 2022, we only had about 18,000 people using Knowt. And since then, we are now at 3.5 million students on the platform. So we've seen a ridiculous amount of growth since 2022 and helping students. We were one of the first companies to use AI for education way before ChatGPT. And now we're really excited to be sort of building Knowt into this all-in-one study platform where you can upload a PDF, upload a PowerPoint, and turn it into notes or flashcards that you could study from, and have since expanded into the teacher realm as well. So
that's perfect.
Platform.
That was my first question right there. It was going to be I'm on the first, we're both on the first floor.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to the 3rd floor. You're going to the 5th floor.
Yeah.
So you got about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Give me your elevator Knowt speech. What does Knowt do?
Yeah, we're the all-in-one learning platform where you can upload any file and turn it into notes or flashcards that you can then interact with multiple choice, open-ended, true and false questions, and then study them for your tests and share them with your friends. And one of the other big things about Knowt is our vast majority of content for AP exams. So you can go in, practice a full AP exam right in our platform with the same tools that the College Board allows. And yeah.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. So you saw a niche and you decided, you know what, I'm going all in on this. Now, you mentioned, when did you start this?
2016, senior year of high school.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you can briefly tell us like how the idea came about, and some of the pitfalls, maybe. Go for it.
Yeah. So I took an AP computer science class really early in my high school, so I didn't really know too many people in the class. I got really familiar with the teacher, and I actually visited the class pretty often in 11th and 12th grade, so I took it in 10th. When I was, since I took it earlier, I wanted to work on like a little grading company.
Yeah.
So I would just scan a picture of like a multiple choice test and then they would grade it. Instead of like having a whole big Scantron machine that every school was paying for, like 20, 30 grand or whatever it was way more expensive. So I wanted to work on that. And I visited the AP computer science teacher a lot, and he introduced me to another kid, Daniel, who was one of our co-founders. So Daniel and I started working on this grade project with a few other friends that were just kind of on and off. And it wasn't really something that we were super excited about, but Daniel was actually working on what is, at that time, was Knowt.
It was Knowt 1.0,
It was
right?
Knowt 1.0. It was basically an Android app with a text box, and you could paste in like a Wikipedia article or something, and then it would turn it into practice questions, which was, at that time, that was magic.
That was just game-changing right there.
Game-changing. We're talking maybe 3 years before GPT was even a thing, and that's not even ChatGPT. ChatGPT came out like 2022 or 2022.
November.
Yeah, November. And this was like 6 years before that.
Wow.
So it was a really amazing thing, and I had always struggled with studying, was never a really great student. So for me, one of the big focuses was, how do I study better? And one of my things that I read about was that you should practice the content more rather than just like rereading it. So this was absolutely right up my alley, and I was in love with it the minute I saw it. And since then, we've been building it out in some capacity. But that's how it first got started. I started working on the iOS app from there, and then we built a website while I was a freshman at Rutgers, and then since then it's gone through so many different iterations.
Just took off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to kind of reiterate, it started, you started with Daniel at this in class.
Yeah.
On this like photo scanning thing to scan sheets. And then Daniel had this, I'm working on this other thing. You saw the potential for it and you guys went full steam ahead.
Full steam ahead. Yeah. And it was really exciting. I mean, I've always wanted to, I've been fascinated with like how apps work. Like when when the iPhone first came out, my parents weren't buying it for me, but I dragged my dad to the store and I said, we are waiting for this. I need to see it. Like, and we waited for the first iPhone. And for me, it wasn't like I just needed a phone. I just loved it. So I've always been fascinated with all those things. So this was like, for me, I wanted to get involved with it as soon as I could.
Got it.
And I got that opportunity.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you took the iOS portion of it.
Yeah, I took the iOS portion.
Did you realize that backwards. Did you realize when you were doing the iOS app that, hey, I think the best experience is browser kind of thing? Okay.
I think what happened was because Daniel worked on it on the Android app, we just kind of didn't think twice. We're like, oh, we just need it on iOS and everybody will use it.
Yeah, we have it over here. Let's put it over here.
We didn't think like, oh, how do people write notes? Do they write on their phone? Most likely not, right? So we need a website. So we got to work on that. I mean, that version of Knowt doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. And for good reason. It was very basic, bare bones. And we've gone through so many iterations. Actually, in 2019, a couple years after that, we redid the entire platform. Okay. We got our new, now current CTO, Abhi, at Rutgers. And he has helped us build up the platform since then. And Daniel actually left a couple years ago, but Abhi has been at the helm and guiding tech since then. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So I can grab a PDF, I can get a Google Doc or copy and paste some text and make practice sets, flashcards, like some, not basic, but some different ways for me to learn the content. Because like you said earlier, one of the things that you learned that in order to learn something, in order to acquire something, you don't just read it over and over and over, but you have to practice it.
You have to practice. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And the biggest problem was practicing took a lot of work. Like not just like actually going through the round
prepping
to practice, like creating the questions, creating that material. That was the hard part. And I felt like drained by like my philosophy at the time was just completely wrong. Was like, I did all this work. I made all the notes. I made all the questions. I studied enough, right? Like that was because by the end of it, you're just like, I just spent 3 days doing this. Yeah. And then you're like, do I really have the energy to go through all of this? And then, so, I mean, this is a problem that kids struggle with everywhere.
Adults.
Yeah, everybody.
Anyone,
Anyone. And I think Knowt is really going to change the way people learn. And our goal is that we can have content be inputted in any format, and you can get interactive material like this. Yeah. Right? So that you can spend most of your time interacting rather than preparing.
Yeah, right? I like that. I like that. Spend more time interacting than preparing. Yeah. I think you just created the title for our episode.
Right? Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now, I do have to jump onto the other side of it, coming through the lens of like a district administrator and talking legalese. Yeah. DPA, Data Privacy Agreement. Data Privacy Agreement. Does Knowt sign a data privacy agreement?
Yeah. And honestly, when we first heard the agreement, we thought everybody was using it. Yeah. And it's been crazy to see that it's gotten a lot bigger since we first started using it. But a lot of districts still don't use it. So what we did was we actually went with our lawyers and we made a data privacy agreement for the districts that don't have one or don't have the infrastructure to build one.
Smaller. Little, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and we now give that to everybody. So if they have terms that they want us to agree to, we do. And if they don't, we give them our data privacy agreement, which is basically for their purpose, like to hold us accountable. Yeah. Which is honestly kind of backwards for a lot of companies. Like, why would you give an agreement to hold yourself?
That's backwards for a district.
Yeah. So we are a very different sort of brand of company. Right? I think we want to focus on data privacy. We know that that's going to become the primary way applications, especially in education.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We're
you know,
talking
held
about
accountable.
minors
Yeah.
and personal identifiable information.
It's the most important data in the world.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to make sure the platform was fully set up for that. And not only just like sign these agreements, but the agreements, they require you to adjust the product quite a bit.
Absolutely.
And make those sacrifices from a business perspective that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, ad revenue, et cetera. So we've customized the product to the largest extent we can. Like an administrator could come in and completely change the product for their specific district because of the customizations we built in. And I don't think any platform right now has the capability to do that. Okay. So a district could come in and just be like, I want this feature off, I want this feature on. And then they would have a different product from a different district.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm a Knowt user, but that I didn't know.
Yeah, because that's like on the admin side, so we work with the school districts particularly. Okay. And our job is to make them aware of the whole customization aspect of it, but also the data aspect of it. Because I think a lot of school districts are buying tools that they aren't being used to their full potential. And so we want to make sure that we're fully transparent about it. Our job, and it's so backwards, again, for a lot of companies, reduce the amount of money that a school district has to spend to provide a better quality experience.
Okay.
Simple.
With that being said, pricing tier?
Yeah. So right now, we just did this 2 days ago. Any teacher could sign up and use our entire platform for free. From a student perspective, you come in and only the AI features are the paid features.
Got it.
So we kept everything from like Quizlet that's paid there, free on Knowt. So anything that's AI related, where like you put in your own PDF, that is
paid
cost,
feature.
paid feature for students, but for teachers, completely free. The only time completely free. There is no way to buy.
So it's for the student.
It's for a student. So generally speaking, that's for like college students.
Yeah.
Because of the data privacy agreement.
I have a college student.
Yeah, exactly. So the data privacy agreement doesn't allow us to sell subscriptions to K through 12 to students, like individual students.
That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So they can't. So the school district would buy for them. But yeah, we made the whole platform free for teachers to come in and start using.
Okay. I'm going to have to get my son. I showed it to him and how it could be used. But I didn't know that. Okay, so I might have to purchase a subscription for him.
And that's the purchases that college students make actually allow us to give the platform for free to teachers.
Wow.
So it's one of those.
So it's student-centered.
It's student-centric. We have over, I think, 3.5 million students on the platform.
Jeez.
With, I think, close to 10 to 12,000 that join every day. So it's growing.
You can't keep up.
It's tough. Like the support ticket volume grows as this grows. And
that is a heck of a good problem for you guys to have
great
right
problem.
now, right?
Yeah. So we are fully moving at this point. And it's getting faster and faster every day.
And you guys have those AI features built in. Now, talk to us really quickly about Kai. Because you got Kai on your sweatshirt.
I do.
Man. So who's Kai and what does he represent?
Yeah, Kai is one of the greatest ways we could introduce for better engagement. So right now on the site, I think our engagement time is like 20 minutes a session, which is crazy. If you go to any education tool right now, it's nowhere near that. It's like 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
So this is a significantly higher, significantly. And Kai allows us to make the material more engaging and more fun. So whenever you put in a PDF, you'll see like Kai actually like working out on an elliptical.
So Kai is the mascot?
The mascot,
Okay, got it.
And he'll be working out on an elliptical and like sweating so that you don't have to. So it's really cool.
Oh, I like that.
And then, on our social media, that's where Kai really shines. That's you see him doing crazy stuff. Sometimes unhinged for our college audience. And Natasha does all the artwork for that, which is like, it's just like we had some like hangover like after St. Patrick's.
Got it.
It's a whole personality for Knowt.
Yeah.
And we're super excited by that. And actually, the name Kai is my best friend's like nephew. His name was Kai,
which is my nephew's name as well.
Yeah. And then it was also Knowt plus AI.
That's like, brilliant right there.
Yeah,
that is brilliant.
It just, everything clicked. We were all discussing Cal and all these other names. And that clicked.
Knowt
and,
AI Kai.
So Kai is a big part of it. Hopefully when we go to bigger conferences, we're hoping to get a costume.
An actual Kai.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actual Kai,
and hopefully that person under the costume will be named Kai.
Yeah.
And we can make that happen.
Yeah, that'll be
so,
a challenge.
Okay, so someone behind the camera over there, bless you, by the way.
Yeah.
If we, not if we, I'm going to have to back up a little bit.
Yeah.
How can people get started right now?
Yeah, it's free to get started. You go to knowt.com.
And that's Knowt.
Knowt. And you can sign in with Google, Apple, or create sign in with Microsoft, or just create an email password. Easy to get started, free. Most of the features we have are free. The only paid features are the AI stuff that we talked about. So it takes less than 2 seconds to set up.
And you guys sign a data privacy agreement, and you can fine tune and tweak per the organization's requests.
Absolutely. And one thing I forgot to mention, but we work with the districts and we do Clever and ClassLink rostering.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So we could, you could sign up a lot quicker.
Yeah.
You won't even need to sign up maybe if we do the rostering with the district and
onboarding kind of thing.
Onboarding, and we set that all up.
That just saves so much time and resources for the district to get up front and do that.
Yeah,
that's beautiful, man. So don't worry about pulling over and going to knowt.com and trying to figure that out. I'm going to have everything linked in the show notes. And if you haven't already guessed, ladies and gentlemen, all of the McCall episodes are actually sponsored by Knowt. So make sure you check them out, get started, and see how you can how Kai can help you sweat less in the classroom. That way you're not taking all your time and energy in the preparing, but now you're focusing your time and energy on the learning, which is where it needs to be.
Exactly.
Okay, I do have one last question for you, man.
Yeah.
This is the $1 million question, the most difficult question you'll be asked, quite possibly the entire conference. Are you ready?
All right, yeah, let's shoot.
Corn tortilla or flour tortilla?
No question, flour.
Flour.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Natasha's shaking her head. Yeah. I know it's a hot take. People like
it is a hot take.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something about it.
Okay. I respect the flour tortilla.
Yeah.
I like them. I'll eat them. I'm team corn.
Yeah. If I could pick, I'd pick flour. But like, if somebody recommended this is the most like a good way to eat it, I wouldn't doubt them. I would eat it. Yeah, especially local.
Yeah. Yeah, homemade.
But if I could make it when I'm making it at home, I'm not making it with the corn tortilla.
Okay.
So
sounds good. All right, man. Well, I appreciate everything that you do. I tip my hat, my virtual hat to you for what you contribute to our educational space, what you're doing for our students, our teachers, our educators, and how you're pushing everything forward and making things just that much more simpler for our students and our teachers to stop focusing on the creating and like you said, sweating to prepare, but now we're focusing on the student learning and engagement.
Exactly. I owe it all to the team. I mean, there's a lot of people working hard to make sure that vision comes to fruition where you only need one platform to go and learn.
Okay.
And we hope that
shots fired at every other platform. Not just kidding.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was mentioning it to you before, is it opens up a whole world of possibility when you can have those experiences in one platform. Otherwise, before, your notes are somewhere else, your flashcards are somewhere else, you are somewhere else.
Yeah, your practice quizzes are
your
somewhere
practice quizzes. Yeah, and now inside of one platform, they can talk together. They can, make you more efficient in how you go about things. And I think, the goal for Knowt is to make sure that you don't have to leave to accomplish something. And that's what we're going to go towards.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. And thank you for being a part of the show and the support.
Absolutely.
All right.